Hello and welcome to the video. Today we're checking out some of the coolest new mods for Cyberpunk 2077. And I've got a good mix this week. There's a wild monowheel vehicle, a couple of great new weapons, an extremely handy map tweak, some colorful lighting upgrades, and a fresh lineup of vehicles. Plus 2 different apartment overhauls that honestly feel like they belong in completely different versions of Night City. Also, I've included a couple extra mods that didn't quite drop this week, but they absolutely deserve a spot here. So let's get into it. First up is something that's straight up chaos on one wheel. And I mean that in the best possible way. The Wobbler. It's a monowheel of madness. Brought to life by a lunatic ex-Militech engineer who pieced it together from scrap parts found in the Night City junk fields. Think the base Kazangi bike frame all Frankensteined up with a bunch of parts and a big freaking wheel. But somehow it all works. And it works very well. The design includes I believe it's called crystal dome thingamajig, which basically means that even though there's a massive tire front and center, your view stays totally unobstructed. Driving this thing feels unhinged, but in a fun, fully controlled way. The modder went deep into tuning and handling, so it's got a surprisingly smooth ride, both on streets and off-road terrain, with a TIE Fighter style stabilizer system that actually keeps it balanced. Otherwise, I assume it would just flop and fall, and you'd get hurt. And there's even an alternate version available called the BMF. You could probably guess what that means. Big Mother something, which you can install alongside the original as its own separate vehicle. So if you want that oversized madness dialed to 11, it's an option. Now, I didn't check it out personally yet, but here's what it looks like. Absolutely insane. I will be checking this out after the video. It's just ridiculous, but it's one of the most fun and unique rides that you can drop into Night City right now. If you're looking to stand out and look like you barely survived a Nomad scrapyard on the way to a street race, well, this is the one. But moving over to the next mod, the Tyger Cache New Iconic Weapons. This mod adds 3 new Tiger Claw themed iconic weapons, each with a custom look, unique effects, and proper world placement that makes tracking them down feel like part of the story. First up is Kill Cam. This one's based on the Rasatsu sniper and has been tweaked for style and violence. When you aim, the first shot you take is guaranteed to crit, and if you pull it off while doing something flashy like sliding, dodging, or jumping, the crit damage gets boosted even more. It's got that whole cyber influencer killer vibe going on, as you can see here by the viewer count fluctuating quite up and down. Now you can find this one during Wakako's gig Greed Never Pays, or later on at the black market vendor in the stadium if you missed out. And the second weapon in this pack is the Bushido. This one's built for honor duels, literally. It's a sleek pistol that locks you into a damage focused duel with one enemy at a time, dealing and taking more damage from them while reducing the damage from others. But if you try to back out or hit someone else mid-fight, you'll take a hit for dishonor. There's even an optional shameful edition if you want to skip the self-damage part and just blast whoever. You'll find it during Regina's Bloodsport gig, or yes, at the stadium vendor if you missed it. And the last weapon in this pack is Oni's Horde. This one's a Tiger Claw style baseball bat that plays into the brutal side of debt collection. Every time you get a kill with it, you get something back. Either health or a health item, I can't remember, a grenade charge, or a hit of sake. That last one's got a bit of kick too. It can blur your vision slightly, so if you're not into the drunken brawler vibe, you can grab the optional sober version to skip the booze effect. Now, I didn't realize this when I was actually using it, but reading the mod page, that's what I gathered, because I was using the Santavistan for most of the time because my enemies are too hard on the game. Not bad, they're just better. But anyways, this weapon drops during Wakako's gig, Tyger, and Vulture. And also with each of these weapons, you can spawn them in using the CET console, as I did because saving time, recording lots of footage, etc, etc. But anyways, moving over to the next mod for today. This one's for players who want a more grounded, modern living space for V. H10 Apartment Redecorated is a full revamp of the H10 mega building apartment, and it gives off a cleaner, tidier, more neutral tone. The layout stays the same, of course, but it's been quite reworked and redecorated. Better placement and more or less much improved lighting. Now, the only issue I have with this mod is the bamboo and the vending machine clipping, as well as the beanbag and that box in the way near the front door. I don't know why. I don't think it's to do with another mod I have installed. It could be. But slight issues aside, the warm ambient tones make it feel way more comfortable. Almost like you're actually coming back to a proper home rather than some cluttered, oversaturated hideout. If you want a low-key place to call home that doesn't scream Edrunner's chaos, this is it. But if that last one is too chill for you, this one's the exact opposite. Cyberden completely transforms the H10 apartment into a high-tech Netrunner's paradise. We're talking sleek black walls, glowing neon accents, cluttered tech everywhere, bad cable management as well, and gritty lighting that makes the place feel alive. basically the room I'm in right now, and I love it. It's got that perfect underground operator aesthetic, grimy, loud, and unmistakably Night City. This one is sweet as hell. It's also packed with custom like smart frames placed all over the apartment. They're in your face just enough to add detail without feeling overdone whatsoever. This place looks like V's been living here for a while and doing all sorts of things in the process. The clutter here is perfect. I'm actually quite impressed with this H10 overhaul, and it has enough lived-in chaos to make Corpo V very uncomfortable. Despite the aesthetic chaos, it all feels very intentional. Like everything has a purpose. So if you like this vibe for your V, or just want your place to look like a visual punch to the face, this shall be your new safe house. Now just really quickly, if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button as I cover the newest and most interesting mods for Cyberpunk 2077 frequently. And there's always something cool on the way. I appreciate the support, it really helps the channel grow, but let's get back to the video. This one's easy to overlook, but once you use it, it feels great. Map rotation with mouse lets you rotate the in-game map just by holding the middle mouse button. It sounds small, but if you've ever zoomed into the map trying to figure out a weird road layout and had to physically like turn your head or anything, you already know how much this could help. It just adds that bit of control we were missing. Smooth, lightweight, and works perfectly with the native interface. And perfectly with controller, because that's what I used. Total game enhancer for planners and completionists. The next mod I have is Streetlight Colors. I did not expect to see this type of mod, well, ever, but it gives you the ability to customize the color of the city streetlights across Night City. Red, blue, green, purple, you have the whole color wheel, or color square in this case. And you can use it to set whichever tone and brightness that you want. Whether you're going for a dystopian neon horror theme vibe, apocalyptic even, with a bunch of NPCs walking around and no zombies, or just want to color match your outfit in photo mode, for example. It adds a layer of visual control that wasn't there before. Also, it works great with visual LUTs or reshade presets if you use those and want to lean fully into atmosphere. Highly recommended for virtual photographers and immersive vibe enjoyers. But moving on. Now this one's wild. The Bentley 6 1930. It's older than your mum. Sorry, that's so out of pocket. Never mind, just continue on. Now, does this fit into the Cyberpunk aesthetic? No, but I wanted it. Everything about this car screams old world luxury. It's got chrome finishes, white wall tires, full custom bodywork, and that unmistakable silhouette. Long, elegant, and totally out of place. But it's a one-of-one custom made for V only. Well, that's how I'm looking at it at least. You pull up to embers in this thing, it looks like you own the building. The only thing that didn't quite match the otherwise pristine design is the interior. The dash stars are a little lower res it feels, and the backseat texture lacks the detail as the rest of the car. It's nothing major, still totally drivable and fun, but definitely something that could shine with a little polish in a future update. Still, this mod is a pure flex. It's not just a car, it's a statement. One of the coolest aesthetic rides that I've seen drop recently. But if you prefer something futuristic but grounded in reality, the Lotus Evija, I don't know how to pronounce that, is for you. This is a real-world electric hypercar, and it's been put into Cyberpunk with serious care. The model is ultra-detailed with smooth contours, responsive acceleration, and high-speed handling that actually makes freeway runs fun again. The lighting on this thing is also top tier. Feels right at home in Night City, from the interior to the exterior. It's just straight-up vibes in every way. You've got the cool light strip in the car, and then the extremely nice tail lights. But after this insanely cool ride, something less futuristic, but a classic. Straight muscle, the 1999 Dodge Viper. This mod comes in multiple color schemes if you grab the optional file, has great engine audio, and a really solid center of gravity that makes it satisfying to drift and corner at speed. This one doesn't try to be high-tech or cybery, it's just brute force and torque. Great for street races or just causing some chaos downtown. Has a proper weighty feel to it too, which is a nice contrast to a lot of the base game's floaty cars. Now, here's what I'm calling a couple honorable mentions, mods that weren't from this week, but deserve the spotlight. Kills counter display. So when I first saw this mod, I was hoping and thought that it would track kills by individual weapons, like how many kills you've gotten with your favorite gun, for example. That would have been very cool, but that's not quite what it does. Instead, this mod adds a clean kill counter right below your ammo HUD. It's not super complex, but it's actually a great little touch if you want a consistent reminder of the chaos you're leaving behind. But it would be awesome to see a future version with per weapon tracking, but for now, it's a polished and functional addition to your UI. It doesn't look out of place at all either if you're worried about that. It also does come in the E3 HUD variant as well if you use the E3 HUD. I think that's what it's called. I personally don't use that, but I'm just letting you know. Next up is Cyberkart Nomad Edition. So do you remember the Cyberkart? Well, this is him now, all grown up. Look at him, so good. But this one is built for the Badlands. It's been kitted out with off-road suspension, big tires, Nomad branding, and more lights. But that's obviously not the main focus. This thing is fully kitted with weaponry. It's got 2 massive machine guns and an entire missile launcher. It's very fun to drive and doesn't tip as easily as you'd think either. But if you want to rip through the outskirts with something that looks halfway between Mad Max and Mario Kart and is as dangerous as all of Mad Max, grab this and go wild. Also, it's had some quality of life tweaks, and the main one being that Johnny doesn't sit higher than you and block a little bit of your vision. He now just sits lower in his own little space. So yeah, great addition all around. But that's it for this week's roundup. Let me know if there's any mods that tickle your fancy, or if you've spotted something cool that I missed, drop it in the comments. I'm always looking for cool new mods, as you could imagine. And if you found something you liked today, drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. It seriously helps out a lot. And if you want to support the channel directly, I did just launch a Buy Me a Coffee page. I love coffee. I love coffee. What can I say? But the link is down below if you're interested. Or perhaps hit that join button for some extra benefits. Regardless, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, happy modding.